I'm Mayor Skip Hall. Welcome to this year's State of the City. This is a time to reflect on our city's history and recognize our most recent advancements, all the while keeping an eye on our future. This year's presentation looks a bit different than we had planned. In our commitment to preserving public health amid COVID-19 concerns, we canceled our community open house and in-person video premiere. Instead, we have opted to debut the video on Surprise TV and at surpriseaz.gov/surprisetv. While our hearts and minds weigh heavy at this unprecedented time, it is also important to recognize our community's successes, and there have been many over the past year. I'm proud of our City Council, staff, countless city volunteers, and you, our residents, for contributing to these great achievements. This year marks our city's 60th anniversary, and that is worthy of celebrating. From the comfort and safety of your home, I hope you can take a few minutes to enjoy this video and remember that we are a strong and connected city. While we're living through a very challenging time right now, together we will get through it and be even stronger moving forward. Thank you and enjoy. Hello, I'm Mayor Skip Hall, and I'm thrilled to celebrate our city's 60th anniversary with you as we reflect on our past, celebrate our most recent community successes, and turn our attention to developing our city's future.
It's been 60 years since our incorporation, but our story starts in 1938 when Flora Mae Statler purchased 1 square mile of farmland and named it Surprise.
It was farming that brought families here in the beginning, and the city was officially incorporated on December 12, 1960, with a population of about 1,500 residents.
By the mid-1980s, so much of the area surrounding Surprise wanted to be part of Surprise, and through annexation, the town footprint exploded with its first school, shopping center, and hotel being added to the map.
The 1990s brought a population boom, growing more than 300% to over 30,000 residents, and a slew of new housing communities came with it.
At the turn of the century, recreation in Surprise was truly born, with the building of the Surprise Recreation Campus, including the community park, aquatics and tennis facilities, and Surprise Stadium, which brought us spring training.
In the past 10 years, business and educational growth has elevated our city with new restaurant and entertainment options moving in, increased industrial development, and the birth and expansion of Ottawa University, Arizona.
Surprise is marking 60 years of the rich past to celebrate and a future that will continue to make history.
In 1960, Surprise was very small, 1 square mile of land and just a few families. Today, Surprise is 110 square miles, home to more than 138,000 people, and we're still growing. Across the city, more than 1,600 single-family residential permits were issued in 2019. Northern Surprise has seen the most growth. It's also where we have the most room to grow, with much of our planning area extending north. The communities of Desert Oasis and Asante have been expanding, and the new Asante Heritage Active Adult Community just opened. Escalante from Fulton brings a mix of housing sizes, a community center, and community pool. Plus, the new luxury-style Rancho Mercado community will build out the north side of Happy Valley Road this fall, from our eastern limits to 163rd Avenue. Moving to the southwestern area of Surprise, we stretched our planning area, adding half of the White Tank Mountains last year, and the new community of Sonjero Trails is nestled right next to them. Sterling Grove by Toll Brothers opened its first phase in January. This community pays tribute to our agricultural roots and community design, and for the first time brings executive-style housing to the city with an 18-hole Nicholas Design golf course, spa, fitness center, pools, tennis, and pickleball courts, all in a park-like setting with gardens and groves. It will include 2,200 homes at build-out. Just like decades past, more people attract more businesses. In 1950, we had 2 service stations and 2 grocery stores to accommodate about 300 residents. Today, we have more than 800 businesses with 5 or more employees. Just last year, the city issued more than 1 million square feet in new commercial permits, and major industrial projects created hundreds of local jobs. 2 manufacturing facilities moved in, bringing more than 200 new jobs to Surprise. Trimaco opened its new 275,000 square foot operation, which produces paint accessories and professional floor protection products. Sika Plastic Packaging, a more than 125-year-old family-owned and operated company, also opened its doors in Surprise. To help attract even more new jobs, we are now BNSF Railway certified at 2 sites within the city's industrial district. These locations are the first for the state of Arizona and join less than 30 sites in the U.S. and Canada. Businesses looking to locate at these properties could save 6 to 9 months of construction time as a result of the analysis done to certify the site. Last year, we also welcomed a sales and service location for National Indoor RV Centers. In the medical field, we saw the openings of Surprise Health and Rehabilitation Center and Destiny Springs Healthcare. We celebrated the groundbreaking of Aviana Medical Complex and watched Abrazo continue work on the city's first micro-hospital. We also added to our business numbers with new restaurants opening across town, from favorite chains to locally owned originals. One of the most cheered wins of 2019 was Costco. This summer, our residents' #1 most wanted retailer, as chosen through our annual retail survey, will open near Waddell and Saraville Roads. We added a new hotels last year when Hilton Garden Inn opened in City Center, giving us 8 hotels in Surprise. Our first hotel, Windmill Inn, was built in 1980 and remains operating today. Hotels are a hot commodity when you're working to build tourism, and that's exactly what we're doing in Surprise. Last year, we launched ExploreSurprise.com, a tourism website that invites you to find your surprise, with ideas for indoor and outdoor adventures, places to eat, and more. The marketing campaign and website won Outstanding Marketing Campaign at the 2019 Arizona Governor's Conference on Tourism. We also added some artisan craft festivals and sports tournaments to draw more visitors to our beautiful city. Youth sports tourism was a hit in Surprise this past summer. A series of nationally ranked baseball tournaments took the field, and we saw a 50% increase in bed tax revenue over the summer. That money can be used to help attract even more tourism events to Surprise. While tourism efforts have been put on hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we will advance our strategy when it's safe to gather again. As we are working to draw tourism dollars, City Center is getting a master plan that will give residents and visitors places to shop, dine, play, and stay. City Center landowners worked to develop a City Center master plan last year. Input sessions were held around town to see what residents wanted their downtown core to look like, and a plan was presented to council, with highlights including walkability, a mix of housing, restaurants, and shops, and a park with water features. We're looking forward to new development in our downtown core. But changes are already happening in City Center. The Texas Rangers just held a ribbon cutting for their new player housing and meeting facility. The Royals just announced they are also building a new facility, and education at OUAZ is blossoming next to City Hall. There was only one school in Surprise in 1988. That's when Kingswood Elementary opened. Now, we not only have primary and secondary education choices, we have a career and technical institute and a 4-year residential university, and both grew last year. Ottawa University, Arizona started its 3rd year of classes with 850 students and opened 3 new buildings this fall: a 300-bed student housing building, a student union for gathering and dining, and a 3-story, 100,000 square foot athletic center with a gym, indoor walking track, training facilities, classrooms, and more. While the gym is currently closed due to COVID-19, memberships to the gym and walking track at Odell Center will be available in the future to residents for a fee through a city-school partnership, which also allows the city to run recreation programming in the facility. WestMech added new programs and buildings last year, including automotive and medical sciences buildings, and they will soon offer a power sports technician program. Their enrollment has grown from 200 students when they opened in 2017 to more than 700. We also continue to partner with Dysart Unified School District under the leadership of Dr. Quinn Kellis and enjoy collaboration with our charter schools. In fact, we are proud to announce Legacy Traditional School is building their 2nd Surprise campus. Partnership is key to growing educational opportunities and a sustainable community. That's why our police and fire medical departments each donated retired vehicles to education programs in 2019. Police donated a cruiser to WestMech's Law, Public Safety and Security program, and Fire Medical donated an engine to Valley Vista High School's Fire Science program. Speaking of public safety, in 1960 the first town marshal was hired in Surprise. He painted a pink 1957 Plymouth beige with a paintbrush to use as the first police vehicle. It was 1967 when the city bought its first fire truck, a 1946 International. Over the years, public safety has become a top priority for City Council, expanding the police and fire medical teams to serve a growing city. At the end of 2019, the city had 154 sworn police officers and 130 sworn fire medical personnel, a far cry from where we began. Both of our public safety teams pride themselves on being top-notch. Just this March, Surprise Fire Medical was formally awarded their accreditation from the Center for Public Safety Excellence. Surprise Police is currently under a multi-year accreditation from the Commission on the Accreditation of Law Enforcement Agencies. The process to achieve these designations allows the accrediting agency to analyze all applicable standards and best practices to ensure our residents are receiving the very best service. We are proud to have 2 outstanding public safety departments serving our city, as well as an emergency manager who is enhancing our city's ability to prepare for emergencies. Our emergency manager is leading the city's response to the COVID-19 pandemic to ensure your essential city services are not interrupted. This past February, she took the lead in organizing and conducting a training exercise for Major League Baseball's Spring Training Cactus League, which was implemented by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. And thanks to voters, we're working to stay top-notch into the future as we move on several public safety projects that were approved as part of the Decide Surprise General Obligation Bond in 2017. We celebrated the groundbreaking of Fire Station 304 on 163rd Avenue north of Grand Avenue in September. It's taking shape more and more each day and will open this summer. The Public Safety Evidence and Readiness Center will break ground this summer. It will give additional space for police evidence and property storage and accommodate overall public safety tactical storage. The future Fire Station 308 at Litchfield and Cactus Roads is scheduled to begin construction by September and should be complete earlier than the original timeline, in late 2021 or early 2022. And construction on a police training facility will start later this year that will include state-of-the-art equipment that will aid our officers with the ever-changing policing environment. Other bond projects are also moving along. In fact, right now we're in the process of transitioning into the Public Works Operation Facility near Cactus and Litchfield Roads. The 44,000 square foot facility supports public safety fleet maintenance and storage needs and consolidates public works operations into one facility. Later this spring, the work on Litchfield Road between Waddell Road and Peoria Avenue will be complete, with 2 lanes in each direction with a new traffic signal at the Sweetwater Avenue intersection. And this summer, construction on Waddell Road will be complete from the east limit of Loop 303 to Reams Road, creating a total of 6 travel lanes and adding traffic signals at Saraville Avenue and Prasada Parkway. Also this summer, Greenway Road construction will begin. This project will bring 4 travel lanes between Saraville Avenue and Cotton Lane and will add a traffic signal at the Northwest Ranch Parkway intersection. Plus, we are finishing our pavement preservation projects for smoother streets. With the current uncertainty surrounding COVID-19, some of these project timelines may change, but we are committed to completing them as soon as we can. They will join a pretty big list of improvements we've made recently. But bond projects are not the only big improvements we've made recently. Surprise opened its 3rd library in February. Asante Library gives our northern residents a closer place to explore literature and special programming. This library has beautiful mountain views and state-of-the-art technology, like self-check kiosks and wireless printers. We also doubled the operating hours at Hollyhock Library at the start of this year. 2002 was a big year for new amenities with the opening of the Surprise Recreation Campus. Now, improving and maintaining what we already have is an important part of what we do each year. In 2019, we added lights to 8 of our tennis courts at our Surprise Tennis and Racket Complex to ensure that all 25 courts can be used for night play. That provides more time for residents to play, but also makes our city more competitive in attracting major tennis tournaments. We also continue to add shade structures to parks across town for relief from the summer sun, and the Surprise Aquatic Center just got new slides. At Surprise Stadium, we replaced the field and other infrastructure over the summer to elevate our spring training experience. While city-wide improvements are happening, we also have some noteworthy projects in the place where our city first began, the original town site. Bicentennial Park is receiving new lights and a field renovation. The new Gaines Field is currently planned to open in spring 2021, with additional parking to the east planned for next fiscal year. And Heritage at Surprise is now open. This 100-unit permanent supportive rental housing community was developed in partnership with the Housing Authority of Maricopa County and is an integral part of the comprehensive revitalization strategy for the city's Heritage District. Resident services include a computer center, workforce connection services, financial literacy, after-school activities, and youth programming. Surprise also cares about building programs that support basic human needs. That's why the city commissioned a community needs assessment, which identified growing or unmet human service needs in our city. That report was delivered to Council in December and will act as a guiding document to assist in prioritizing plans, initiatives, and programs to meet those needs. In September, Mayor Hall proclaimed Surprise as a dementia-friendly city as we work with partners to change the way people think, act, and talk about dementia. We're just the second dementia-friendly city in the state, joining Tempe. Surprise now hosts a memory cafe that provides a social and resource place for people living with memory loss and their care partners, twice a month at the Salvation Army. While on hold right now, we look forward to resuming the cafes when we are able. In October, we held our first ever Surprise Care and Share Expo. This was a free community event aimed at creating connections to human service organizations, health resources, and medical checks. It was a great way to let more people know what's available to them, as participation numbers in our human service and community vitality programs are on the rise. In fiscal year 2019, the Surprise Resource Center assisted an all-time high 7,318 people through the Community Action Program, a 30% increase year over year. During that same time, Surprise Senior Center memberships hit 913, and the center dished out more than 11,000 meals. Surprise Civic Center was built in 2009 on land that previously served as a Luke Air Force Base emergency airfield during World War II. Our connection to military and veterans has stayed strong over the years, and 2019 brought some special projects in honor of our military heroes. The bridge at Grand Avenue and Bell Road was renamed to Veterans Bridge last April. The celebration included remarks from city and state officials, including Governor Doug Ducey, and bridge signage was installed to mark the name change. On Veterans Day, we held our annual parade to honor the service and sacrifice of our veterans and opened our new Veterans Reflection Circle in Surprise Community Park. It's an outdoor garden and reflection space in honor of late Surprise resident and combat wounded veteran Brian Mancini, who spent his life serving his country and helping other wounded veterans find healing. And now, the space can carry on his legacy by providing a place for veterans to reflect. The project was built at no cost to the city out of the generosity of nearly 40 partners from the construction and landscaping communities. Because we are a city where everyone counts, it's important that we count everyone in the 2020 census. If you've already taken the census, thank you. You're helping shape the city's future, your future. The count we get from the census helps bring federal funding our way. That's money to help pay for new roads, schools, emergency services, and more. And knowing where people are living guides decisions on where to locate services and amenities. It also helps with equal representation, determining how many representatives each state gets in Congress and where our city district boundaries are drawn. Plus, it can assist businesses in choosing where they want to locate. So if you haven't taken it yet, please take a minute to do it by visiting my2020census.gov. We've had an amazing year, a transformative 60 years, and we look forward to the next 60 and beyond. Happy 60th anniversary, Surprise!